Hello everyone, it's time for another First Pass. Today I had a Vitruvian quest, so I've built a Sarge Nosh-Rak deck with a bunch of artifacts and Vitruvian staples. So I have obelisks, I have Falchius, I have obviously artifacts, Wildfire Ink, Staff of Ikea, and I have the man of the hour, Nosh-Rak himself. So I'm going to... what are we doing here? I like this. I definitely want this turn 1. It might just get dispelled, but that's fine. We don't really need these yet. Let's get rid of those. I want Wildfire Ink, it's great. These are kind of late game, I think. I have no idea if Time Maelstrom actually belongs in the deck. Right, you can see the deck list on the left. Let me just move that on to the other side so that you can tell what charges my artifacts are on. So I'm just going to pop this in the middle. I've come to believe that the middle tile is the best place to put these. Hopefully we don't need a siphon yet because we're probably going to play a little passively. The idea is I'm just going to hide behind this and use the dervishes and Wildfire Ink to chip away at my opponent's stuff. Crystal Cloaker over there. That is very far away. Why is that quite so far away? That seems a bit useless. I'm not entirely sure how we punish that properly. I'm very tempted to just kind of camp out at the back and play obelisks. Like if I drop a Fireblaze up here, but stay where I am, I can be relatively safe. Alternately, if I come forwards, I move into my opponent's territory a little bit. I can contest this mana tile. It's a bit of a shame that I can't play both Healing Mystic and Fireblaze Obelisk at the same time. I could just play the obelisk in front. No, it'll get hit. I don't really want my opponent to have this mana tile though. Could take a lot of damage. Then again, if I run away and play Wildfire Ink, how bad is that? I also have no idea what my opponent's doing. I imagine it involves walls. Let's just... that's great. Let's just play out an obelisk. And hope that she doesn't have too much to spell immediately. That's a good draw. So my opponent will presumably push forward and play something in the middle here. Ooh, interesting. I guess they want to attack this. So we're going to see 3-drop, 2-drop, I guess. Ah, Hearth Sister. No, Ice Split. Oh, right, I get it. Also, yuck. That's gross. Although I guess we can just kill it next turn. We have Falchius. And we have another Fireblaze as well. Sadly we don't have the mana to do Fireblaze plus Falchius, but there might be a way that we can kill them both. Can I play Fireblaze and Wildfire Ink? I cannot. I can play Whisper of the Sands plus Fireblaze. That's probably enough to clear them both. Unless I get really unlucky, basically. Yeah, this seems like the best tempo play. It doesn't reliably work, but it's really powerful. Got there. So just kill everything, don't do this yet. Solid. So ultimately we got a 2-for-1 there. We're ahead on cards because we have the same size hand as our opponent, but with 2 obelisks. Cryo, sure. That catches them up, I guess, but that's fine. We've managed to create a fair bit of space now. We still even have another Whisper of the Sands. I think I'm going to play a Falchius and just attack my opponent. Almost certainly playing this next turn. It's a bit aggressive to play Falchius and get in for 4 though. Like maybe I should set up the Ankh instead. If I run away, I guess if I do that it turns on my opponent's infiltrate minions. Makes it a bit harder for me to snipe the ones that are played very defensively. The sad thing is I do actually want to play Falchius here if I can. Or what I can do actually is go get in with this. Move Sarge into the center, which gives her a lot more options for flexible movement. think I'm just going to play this to cycle it. Get in for 2 damage. Maybe I should replace it. No, I've got another one in the deck. No, I haven't. Oh, that's a lie. Yeah, I'll replace it. First wish. Sweet. Alright, so hit the opponent for 6. Body block from the Obelisk, which makes it harder to kill with just Cryogenesis or something. And set up a decent, aggressive beachhead, so my opponent can't easily play powerful infiltrate minions next turn. Still no real sign of any combo pieces, that's fine, apart from this, I guess. Although we do have Incineroar now, so we can be whatever we need to be. If the opponent runs away and plays something defensively, we can surprise them by playing Incineroar into Bloodborne spell and just zipping over and killing it. And now I hope she does that, because that would be hilarious. Yeah, go on, play her stupid Dryad in the corner. Go for it. What the hell is this? Myriad. Blood Surge, make a random wall, that's the one. So if I play Incineroar, I can go... I can't actually get to this, can I? Or does it let you move 3 squares diagonally? I'm not entirely sure how it works. I can certainly kill this. Let me see. And the other option is I just play Wildfire Rank, which seems better. I can go... Oh, there's actually a lot of options. Wildfire Rank Falcius is nice. Let's draw a card. Gives us more options. Time Maelstrom. Right, so we can kill a bunch of stuff next turn. That's for sure. If I... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the Wildfire Rank and kill... I don't know if I care about the random wall more than the 2 damage to a minion. I guess if my opponent kills all my stuff, it doesn't matter that much. I think I'm just going to hedge my bets by staying in the center. When in doubt, that seems a bit stronger. And we'll get rid of... These cards are all really good. Sure. So our opponent can play a Vesper and try an RNG into killing the Falcius. There's a decent chance that the Obelisk dies if she has a lot of them. But the Obelisk also is able to absorb hits that, you know, might protect the Falcius. If she's only got like 1 Vesper in hand, then she's not reliably going to kill this. If she hits it with her face, that puts her to 9, which puts us in a pretty commanding position. Oh wow, that is fine by me. I guess my opponent wants to move forward, yeah. Be aggressive. And this is alright, because we can play Falcius to kill whatever comes out, or, you know, come over here and kill this. Snow Chaser, okay, we're going to ignore that. Or I guess we can put it back in my opponent's hand if we want, but I'd rather just go face, to be honest. One thing we can do is run over here, play Mara Healer next to my opponent. Ooh, Star's Fury. Ooh. That's starting to look like a lot of damage. If we Time Maelstrom Falcius is 8, 9, 10. We're pretty close to lethal, so I'm almost tempted to ignore this and just go face. Like, if the Amara dies, that is fine. The trigger will help us win. Yeah, go on. Do this. I think I will kill this Glacial Elemental. Oh no, I can't. My Bloodborne spell's on cooldown. Well, screw that then. Face. We don't guaranteed have lethal next turn, because this can get dispelled and then removed. But if the Obelisk survives, we can try and get in for 2 with the Dervish if it spawns in the right sort of place. And we might always draw another artifact to go with Falkius and Time Maelstrom for the lethals. Either way, I feel good about our chances here. That's spicy. Spawn here, spawn here. We win. GG. Wow, that was cool. That game was cool. This deck is surprisingly gross. Alright, let's go for one more. Sweet quest rewards. By the way, person who messaged me when I started recording this video, if you're watching this, I apologize for not replying to your message for about 20 minutes. I think you can see why. Lionar, right? We need these Falkius as something fierce. We don't need Incineroar for a little while. Hexblade's great. Which one of these do we not want? We can just hide at the back and play this. I feel like that is quite dangerous. On the draw, like if we're going second, I would go for that. Going first, I think we need to move up and use Falkius. Ideally, we want to draw an Ethereal Obelisk. I'm going to replace the Ankh just because the Nosh-Rak wouldn't need you yet. Obelisk? Rash's Curse. That is not very useful. I guess we can like deny the mana tile and cycle the Silence First Wish, but that is not worth the card. Especially when this is a great removal spell. Like Rash's and First Wish is pretty good at killing stuff, generally. Yeah, missing the Tome 1 play is very sad. I had a game against Lionar earlier where I played a Tome 1 Obelisk. He played Silverguard Knight here, and I used the Dervish and a Falkius played on the mana tile to kill it, and then buffed the Falkius. It was really nice. Okay, well this is good. So we just get to make a 4-4 and kill that. This is why I wanted to come forwards. Just making use of Falkius. It puts us sort of in harm's way, but with Ironcliff Guardian we're never truly out of harm's way against Lionar anyway. What am I replacing here? We can in theory cast Imara. No, Imara we can in theory cast in 2 turns, by which time the mana tiles will be long gone, so I could replace her. We have plenty of other expensive cards that we can end up drawing. My next few turns are going to look like either one of these. I mean, I don't know if I'll have space to develop the Obelisk. Obelisk plus Rash's Curse is pretty good. That's a Saberspine Tiger, basically. That also takes out an Arclight Regalia, because we could see that here. Hexblade's pretty good. It's really good against Silverguard Knights. Yeah, I think I do actually just ship the Imara. It being the most expensive card I have. There we go, more expensive late game cards that we can draw. That was a pretty good turn for us. Oh, interesting. Wow. That seems unnecessary. So we can actually play Zephyr here and clear both, but that probably isn't worth it. I can come over here, kill this, and play Fireblaze Obelisk behind me, or I can play it up here and come down. I guess I don't really have a positioning that plays around Holy Immolation. Like if I play it there, he can still immolate me both, so probably better off playing it here when my opponent can't hit it, because he's going to come at me anyway. Other options, Falkius doesn't excite me. I can stay aggressive, like I can stay next to my opponent and play the Fireblaze Obelisk here to block this mana tile, but I'm not too concerned about that, I think. It does mean the Fireblaze Obelisk's in a better position. If my opponent doesn't have Holy Immolation and a 1-drop, there aren't that many ways that it could die immediately apart from Sunbloom, which kills it anyway. And then it's forwards in the way, blocking actual space. Yeah, I think this is actually better, playing it aggressively. No, I'm going to replace the Zephyr. Much as I like it, it's not actually doing me favours right now. So this is like, you know, if this gets dispelled, it's still in the way, still body blocks my opponent, still lets me summon stuff next to it. Still potentially soaks up damage if they decide they want to clear it. And obviously if they do have Blood Tear Alchemist, Holy Immolation, then that sucks. Sweet. So we can... Do we have this next turn? I think we do. Yeah, we can Hexblade this and kill it. We can also Staff of Vakir and kill it. Or even Falkius and kill it, which gives us the best board. Yeah, I like Falkius given the opportunity. I'm going to replace the Star's Fury, I think. Obelisk. Yeah, sweet. We can play the Falkius. I sort of want to play around Holy Immolation, but I'm not sure I can very effectively. That's fine. I think we can get away without doing that. So I'm going to go Falkius here, Obelisk on this Mara tile, and then kill this thing. So that gives us the biggest board we can. It means we have something that doesn't get hit by Immolation, so the Falkius will probably die, but that means I don't die, or the Obelisk may remain untouched. I guess, no, the way I've positioned, if they have Azaret Lion plus Immolation, they can't actually kill the Obelisk, because it would have to go here or here to hit everything. Right, so we can see it there instead, yeah, okay. So that's fine. Well, it's not fine. No, it is fine. We're on 17 life. 15 life. That's not too bad. We expected it. Sadly, I don't have a way of killing this with the Dervish immediately, but we can obviously replace, try and find something. Let's replace this Staff of Care. We don't need that yet. Imara, that's good. In fact, that's probably the play. Save the Bloodborne spell, but I will kill this. Let's go and stand here. Attack this. Attack it again. Let's play this. If I play it here, I have a chance of playing Wildfiring to hit both my opponent and the minion he plays. Although it does mean that he can play like rush minions here, so I'm just going to play it protectively. It's an okay draw. If my opponent decides to play to the center of the board rather than avoiding the Obelisk, that's good for us. Okay. You can do that. Like, we're ahead enough on cards that even after Trinity Oath, we're still advantaged on resources, except life total, obviously. But Imara is quite good at that, it turns out. Sweet. So I guess now we just equip 2 random Vitruvian artifacts and see if we win the game, right? What can we do that's better than Hexblade? Not a lot. Just gonna replace this guy again. Okay, so we can do Wildfire Rank Hexblade, and that guarantees Wildfire Rank Hexblade, which is sort of what we want off of this anyway. That gets in for a bunch of damage, obviously. There's not much the opponent can do about it. They can play Minion Holy Immolation, but that's most of their turn. It only takes 1 charge off. We potentially have lethal the following turn. In fact, we do have lethal the following turn thanks to Rash's Curse. Ooh, a Dispel. That's really good, actually. Because one of the best responses to this sort of line is... Actually, it's not even... Ironcliff Guardian isn't even that good. Because we just tap the hero power. It only buys a turn and takes a charge off. Which is better than most cards, but... Wow. Sarge is terrifying. Now I understand why I kept losing to it. Like, I used to come up against decks like this and go, oh man, why is this... Why am I losing to this pile? Like, you know, they just have all these artifacts all of a sudden, and I'm like dead from miles away. Why is this happening to me? Yeah, this is basically exactly what I thought my opponent would do. So we're in decent shape here. So, we have lethal thanks to Rash's Curse and the we don't anymore. Not with slow. Oh no, my Zephyr again. No, they'd have to have a minion here for the blast to hit him, right? Let me think. So we can draw a second Dispel. That's pretty well positioned. Can use Whisper of the Sands or Rashes to kill this. Can we draw anything that kills this? We need to have like Scion's First Wish into Fireblaze Obelisk to clear the slow. That would give us lethal. Star's Fury would also give us lethal. So I can play Whisper of the Sands to cycle as well. This could hit Spine Cleaver, that's pretty good. That would probably win us the game. Can also hit the Staff, another Hexblade, some other stuff I don't really care about. I think I'm going to play this first, because I actually quite like to play the Autarch's Gifts if I can. Maybe not imminently this turn, but soon. That doesn't do anything. That almost gets it there. It's very close. So I guess we kill this. No, we don't. We can get in for 3 with a Dervish. Just gonna play this somewhere. We hit him, kill this lion, Bloodborne spell, kill that. I think that's everything. Okay. Slow dies. And then we may lose our artifact charges, but then we'll probably get lethal off Autarch's Gifts, or the Obelisks, or both. Or this Rasha's Curse. Opponent does only still have 3 cards in hand, and we drew the second Siphon anyway, that would have been lethal. Still no Nosh-Rak. So far Nosh-Rak has contributed in the 4 and a bit games I've played. Nosh-Rak has contributed 1 point of damage. It is entirely possible that this mat to... Oh, come on! Now we need... Oh, of course, you can just automatically become the general. That's pretty good. Gain that extra life. Right. I think it's time for some gifting. Star's Fury. Is that lethal? Yes. That is... No, this Dervish can't reach. Oh, it's lethal with Rasha's Curse, it's fine. I love Star's Fury, it's great. It randomly kills people. Kill this guy, and then we... What's going on? Phew! I've always wanted to do the play Grandmaster Zare and Suicide Myself play. I always thought that was really cool. Right, well that was more successful than I was expecting. We didn't actually draw the card I was building around, in fact we played very few of the new cards. What did we even do that was from the new set? Incinerate is good, I think. The card is quite powerful. It didn't come up in those games, but it's pretty sweet. This we haven't played yet. This, I mean, Nosh-Rak is like, it might represent 10 damage. It requires some setup. I feel like, obviously those only two games, I didn't even draw him in the second one. Or rather I saw him in the opener and replaced him. And then never saw him again. But I think, I mean, if you're just playing a deck like this, where I've just got primarily artifacts and random obelisks, because we're quite fragile, as my source of damage, Time Maelstrom is probably much better than Nosh-Rak is. But, you know, you can still run both, but Nosh-Rak's 4 more mana for kind of the same thing in this deck. However, if you're playing a more mid-range version with more minions, that's got to be a lot better. So, one of my other decks is a Tempo Vet deck, as I called it. This is basically an attempt to marry the typical Vitruvian stuff of, you know, obelisks and packs and what have you, with like powerful mid-range minions. So this was when Songhai were dominating the meta, this was patch 176, 2 patches ago. So after they nerfed Siphon Energy, but before they changed Mana Vortex and Lantern Fox. And I haven't played it since the expansion, I think. But basically, it's sort of typical Vitruvian stuff until you get to the mid-game, where we have Psychic Conduit, really good against Azeroth Lion, and Sojourner and other random things. Card is surprisingly powerful. Blistering Scorn, Dioltas, Entropic Decay, Lukian, Dancing Blades, Star's Fury, card's great, Imara Healer, Dominant Will, and Circle of Desiccation. And I actually used to have a Dust Wailer in here as well, before the Songhai nerf, because it can kill a 5/3 Heartseeker. So something like this, which has a lot more minions in it, and especially sticky ones like Scorn and Dioltas, which is just sort of fairly impactful, and Ulkian, who's like ignorable. You know, a lot of these minions are big value plays, or, you know, removal minions like Blistering Scorn and Dancing Blades are removal on a body. Falkius is removal on a body. And there's like random stuff like Wind Slicer. I mean, this guy usually just dies, but, you know, sometimes it's nice to have an extra body in the early turns that helps you make tempo plays. So a list like this might be better with Nosh-Rak. Bone Swarm, that's 4 damage to the face when you have Nosh-Rak in play, could be good. Staff of Ikea is in my Sarge deck. It's only 2 mana, you can play that in the same turn. Whisper of the Sands in theory. You know, if you've got a bunch of obelisks, it's like 2 mana Star's Fury maybe, plus or minus. This card is really cool, but a bit awkward. Yeah, something like this might be better as a Nosh-Rak shell. So far, I haven't been particularly impressed with him, but we'll see how that works out. Right, that about wraps this up. In conclusion, Sarge is apparently still good. Better than I would have expected, although I only played against one Starhorn Bone deck. And he rolled me, but it was... I think I could have won given like another turn or two, but didn't quite get there. Otherwise, I mean, this seems to beat Lionheart pretty well. We have that at least. So, if nothing else, the meta hasn't changed upside down so much that the old standards don't still work. I guess if nothing else, that's a good lesson. Right, I'm going to sign off, call it a day. Thank you very much for joining me again, and hopefully I'll be back with another one of these pretty soon. Probably not daily, because that's a time constraint, but I'd like to, in theory. So, as usual, let me know if you have suggestions or requests. I think I've got a brew in mind for a Lilith deck that wants to play Grandmaster Variax as quickly as possible. So you're playing 3 Darkfire Sacrifice, and you're sort of, you know, maybe some draw, and you're motoring through the deck a little bit, and you've got Variax and possibly one other bomb, like a Meltdown or something, Revenants. And you're just trying to Darkfire Sacrifice them out really quickly, and then take over the game with Variax's insane ability. Because obviously the earlier it comes down, the more effective it is. So that's my thinking for that. And I guess in theory you can play it on turn 2 off like double Darkfire Sacrifice on a Gloom Chaser or something, so that could be pretty spicy. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.